There's an expression, it actually comes from the Gemara, and it goes as follows. Tichle shana uklaloseha. Let the year end and its curses. Sounds kind of morbid. The Gemara uses it in the context of this week's Parsha, Savo, that we have to read Parshas Savo before the year ends, because this week's Sedra has the Tochacha, the rebuke, which is really full of curses, the terrible things that could happen, God forbid, to Klal Yisrael if we don't keep the Torah. So the idea is, let's end the year and its problems and move on. The truth is, under normal circumstances, when years ebb and flow like they usually do, so that's more of an expression, but we don't pay that much attention to it. I think this year we can appreciate the import. Let the year end and its curses. This year, as we're drawing to a close, has been an interesting year, a very extreme year, maybe the tale of two halves. If we go back to the beginning of the year, everything seemed fine. And we were cruising along as a shul, as a community. Shaare Tzedek was doing wonderfully. We had the Carlbach Minyan with 80 people on a Friday night. We had the Young Professionals Minyan. We had so many programs, scholars and residents. The shul was teeming with activity. Purim came, and we know what happened next. So, yes, Tichle shana uklaloseha, let's bring an end to the pandemic. Let's move on. Let's hope for better fortunes, better circumstances in the coming year. But the Torah tells us something very important. When we start to reflect and we think about why did we have necessarily these unfortunate events, famous pasuk, the Torah says, Tachas ashelo avadata es Hashem Elokecha v'simcha uvetuv levov me'rov kol, which basically means that when you had it good, you didn't appreciate what you had. And I think if we reflect back on this year, there's a lot of truth to it. Yes, we were excited about the progress, but we probably took for granted what it meant to go to shul every week, every Shabbos, what it meant to enjoy our company in our homes, what it meant to socialize at Kiddush, what it meant to be able to just be free and move about, to travel, to visit relatives, not to worry about infections and about viruses and contagion and tests and quarantines. Maybe we took all of that for granted. It doesn't mean that we understand exactly or any way why this is happening. But we do appreciate the fact, and it's human nature, that when things are going well, we presume that it's always going to be that way, and the brachos that we enjoy in life, we take for granted. Maybe at this moment, and maybe this is the moment in our lifetime when the pasuk really resonates, that we have to appreciate what we have. And if we do, we don't take the moment for granted, and it means something. And being able to go to shul, even if it's 100 degrees outside in a tent, but we can at least daven. We know what it means to be stuck at home and davening in private. And if we appreciate the fact that we're still up and about and we're observing Shabbos and learning Torah and still functioning as a community, at least from afar, relying on electronic communication and maybe social distancing, but we understand that there are brachos there, and we're not going to take them for granted, so then maybe that will be the end. The year will end with its curses. So we're getting close to the beginning of a new year. We're working hard for Yom Tov to make it meaningful. It's a lot of effort, but we have a great team. But let's not take for granted what the pasuk tells us, that when things are good, and even now, with what we do have, what's working for us, that it should be b'simcha, it should be with happiness, and tuv levov, a good heart, feeling good towards each other, sharing the kindness, the chesed, me'rov kol, don't take for granted what we do have, and maybe that will be the key for the success of the new year, Tochel Shana, let the new year begin, Ubirchoseha, and its blessings. Wishing everybody a good Shabbos, stay well, and stay cool.